Hello friends, welcome to Skills for You at Girija. This is the fourth episode to support teachers and learners in effective speaking and communication skills. It is heartening to know that many of my listeners find the podcasts useful and the activities engaging. Please continue to drop your messages and share your comments. Exchange of information is the key to everything in life. Let me log you into real life speaking. Do you wake up and text or call, chat with family, classmates, and internet friends during the day? Of course you do. Even the simple gossip with the cashier at a local store is an interaction. Cut to our classroom. Rather than presenting students with stiff speech patterns, it's better if we guide them with as much exposure as possible to using genuine language and speakers. This can be achieved through movies, guest speakers, or podcasts. They deserve a good model to follow. Introduce basic drills where common speech patterns can be covered and provide them with adequate practice. What are the ways you use spoken language every day? Transfer this to your classroom. I can think of a few: talking to friends on the phone, sharing a joke, asking for directions, discussing a news item with an acquaintance, asking your boss for a pay rise. A needs analysis will tell you what kind of speaking your students need. From my experience, I learned a few things of relevance and I share it here. Error correction. Not necessary to pick all errors in the initial stages, be it pronunciation, speech speed, or repetitions. Don't interrupt the lesson or their speaking to correct them. Save it for later. This helps develop fluency first, accuracy later. Make a note, and if it is a common concern, have speaking activities to deal with this. Teachers of English need no practice, but students do. Students need to practice speaking as much as possible. Therefore, it is best to maximize speaking time of students. You can do this in several ways. Don't repeat yourself. Ask open-ended questions. Wait for an answer. Likewise, try to involve the entire class by random selection to avoid domination by few students in the speaking activities. Right, let's move on to the activities for this episode. My question: students are paired and each one is given a set of questions on a random topic or course related one. Students sit across one another and ask a few questions. Teacher rings a bell, then students change their partner and the activity continues. This gives learners time to practice, increases talk time, and they learn how to question, how to respond when questioned, along with correct modulation and intonation. This activity can be repeated for beginners. The next one is spontaneous speaking. Prepare a list of topics that students will be able to talk about. Split the class into 2 teams and have each student choose a number. That's the order they will go in. Each student will respond to a statement without preparation. They must continue speaking for 45 seconds. As the student is speaking, the other team listens for moments of hesitation, pauses, repetitions, grammatical or vocabulary mistakes. If the other team can correctly identify an error, they get a point. 2 truths, 1 lie. This is the last activity for this episode. Each student should write 3 statements about themselves on a piece of paper. 2 of them should be true and 1 should be a false statement. Students by turns read their 3 statements and their classmates question them to try and determine which statement is false. Teacher can make notes on specific problem areas, discuss and address it later. Friends, that's all for now. Try out the activities and share your experience. Listen, follow and share my podcast. More in my next. Until then, be happy to speak, happy to teach.